Minister of Planning. He was supposed to be here, but I'm sure he will join you later. I also like to extend my apology for being too busy, but it's not my fault. I'm doing all your work. 50 committees and the Foreign Office is not an easy thing to run. It's 7 days a week. I had a Hungarian foreign minister already calendared, long time back, but from a neighboring country, Kabul, the Commerce Minister was at a fairly short notice, just 2 days notice, and I had already committed for this program. So please do excuse me. I would have loved to be part of the entire discussion, but I'm sure you'll be compiling, their thoughts, their themes, their suggestions, and their proposals, and I'll be very happy to go through with my brother, Professor Ishaq Dar, distinguished economists, scholars, policy practitioners, dear students, media members, esteemed guests from all over the country, and I hope from abroad as well. I'm not sure about the list of participants, but let me say a very good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed a great honor for me to join at this closed session of this very powerful conversation. I think you, as economists and the elite, of this country, you need to, be helping, the government in achieving its Uran Pakistan. Today I have actually come to, the plan was to come and listen, then to speak more, but it looks like my destiny was something different today because of the arrival of the guest from Kabul, whom I have to meet shortly. The key to a better Pakistan lies obviously in our provinces. Our provinces are not only mere administrative units, they are the roots of our national tree. If these roots are strong, the entire tree flourishes. If they are weak, everything suffers. From service delivery to economic growth to national resilience, I think it's all with the provinces. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to walk you through this vision, one we must now bring to life. And why I'm emphasizing on the provinces are two reasons. Number one, they were given huge autonomy through the 18th Amendment. I was one of the 4 authors of the 18th Amendment because it was conceived as a charter of democracy, which started in 2002 between me and Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto. The idea was, create code of conduct because of the past history. By 2002, twice both political parties in power and twice leg pulling, and you have the history and all, don't have to repeat. But that code of conduct discussion was expanded later on. Initially it was me and Raza Rabani Saab, and then it expanded to civil military relations, constitutional reforms, legislative, business, Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and you name it, and it was there. So it was a long list, and it took about 4 years, ultimately signed 14th of May 2006 between late Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto Sahaba and Mian Muhammad Nawaz Sharif, in London. So fast forward, we joined the government in 2008. We had only one point agenda, you can say 1 point demand of our condition to join the coalition was restoration of the judiciary and freedom of judges. When it didn't happen, the timeline was 1 month. After 6 weeks, Asani Balsa, myself, other colleagues, we resigned and we went and sat in the opposition bench. But the agenda we followed, and that agenda actually gave the freedom, the 18th Amendment. We worked more than a year, and it was 2010 when this parliamentary committee on constitutional reforms to bring the constitution back in its original form was completed. I was one of the key member of the committee. Hazrat Rabani Sahab has written a book, wo kehte he was the rudder of the ship. So wherever there was a blockade, I will try to just remove it between the provinces. Obviously, all political parties of the country were there. So number one, coming back to the main point, they had a huge responsibility after the 18th Amendment, because the concurrent list has been abolished. A number of responsibilities have pushed and shifted to the provinces, and it goes with the December 2009 NFC award. Before that award, 5% was the collection charges which the federal government would collect, and the remainder 95 would be distributed 57.5 to the federal government and 42.5 to the provinces. Between the provinces, obviously their shares were determined based on population. So there was a major shift of the resource to the provinces. I was very much again part of that. Despite that, I was in opposition, but we had a government in Punjab. Mian Shahbaz Sharif was the Chief Minister of Punjab, and all the four Chief Ministers landed in Punjab after weeks and months of deliberation, but they could not had resolved the NFC award till then, except they could resolve non-NFC items. One was the 1% war on terror for the KP, and the other one was in lieu of the Octa Zilla tax, which we abolished when I was finance minister in 1999. In lieu of that, a certain percentage, 0.36, if I remember correctly, of the gross pool to go to the Sindh province. So this major shift, 5% to 1%, 57.5 to 42.5, virtually if you take the 100, so if previously it was like 60-40, it went 40-60. So 40-60, there's a huge shift. 1/5 of the pie was shifted to the provinces. This is December 2009. All I miss is the postage stamp in Gwadar when finally it was signed after all the hard work. But I could not join and make that trip. So this is the background. So provinces on the one side have huge resources shift to provinces, and on the other side, the constitutional responsibility by eliminating the concrete list has also been shifted to the provinces. In fact, NFC award, because it was December 2009, the 18th Amendment Committee was working, Parliamentary Committee on Constitutional Reforms, so I knew that they would require more resources, but unfortunately, I think the true spirit of these two major actions in Pakistan history is still to see the full rich dividend what it should have come. I'm trying to just make a picture so that the background is known and why I believe provinces have a much greater role, because I have a firm belief that obviously federation is the collection of or the sum total of the federating units. If they are weak, if they perform less, obviously the entire reflection would be on the country, and country is symbolizes by the federal government. So it's very strong nexus, a link. So let me run through some notes. So where governance gets personal, let's begin where it matters most in real life. Governance doesn't live in reports. It lives in people's everyday experiences. A child's first day at school, a mother's anxious visit to a clinic, a farmer praying for rain or for relief from the government. And who is responsible for these daily realities? Obviously, the answer is our dear provinces. Following the 18th Constitutional Amendment, which I have dilated, provinces became the frontline providers of the education, healthcare, agriculture, policing, and local governance. You must be hearing in different talk shows, discussions, that the provincial finance commissions have not been either set up or no awards have been seen in the country. Obviously, when federal government has already done its part, and unluckily, I would say unluckily, this NFC award as per the constitution requires revision every 5th year. It's meant for 5 years as per the constitution of Pakistan. But luckily, it also contains a provision that if it doesn't happen, till the next award, no matter how long, that award will continue. So there has been long pauses when the consensus could not be built even on a new award. And the award which was finalized in December 2009, which is still in place and in vogue in the country, it was the first time the resources distribution to the provinces was not based on population alone. It was the level of development, it was the diversity of population, and there were 4 criteria. Population has about weight of about 80% to the best of my memory, 80 or 82. So it's a weighted formula, but those are now और आज हम 2026 में बैठे हैं. You know, you can imagine, I did my best, try my best 2013-17 to do the next award, but I couldn't get enough support. You see, the federal government, after that huge shift, either all these responsibility would have to be shifted to the provinces, because federal government doesn't have enough resources. It has number one, the huge public debt servicing. 2017, when I left, it was less than 2,000 billion. I wanted to enter into political discussions, but when I came back, it was 10,000 billion debt servicing. Multiple reasons. The rupee got devaluation to 1/3 value, and on the other side, there's about almost 80% increase in the public debt. So you see, these multiple issues need to be addressed. And second is obviously, the defense is for the entire country. Defense is not for the Islamabad or the federal area. So there got to be innovative way to create a balance in the NFC award. Obviously, Finance Minister Saab abhi shuru karenge process for the next NFC award, but I see it, a little complicated, because everybody will have to feel with open mind how we fix, because otherwise the federal government will remain always in red, or they should abandon. We are still running higher education. It's about double-digit heavy, amount of billions of rupees we allocate. Education is, if it's provincial subject, now they have these resources. They should be able to fund it. Likewise, we have so many parallel bodies still working, which was supposed to be closed after the 18th Amendment. So, I believe that we need to work very diligently in this award, and I hope the country reaches the award very soon, because it will create a new balance in the fiscal distribution and fiscal consolidation in this country. So, GB and AJK, obviously, each plus all provinces has unique strengths. Punjab has agriculture, Sindh has ports and industries, and it's a commercial hub. KP has minerals and mountains, which attract, tourism and investment. And Balochistan, you must have heard, is untapped natural wealth. We have a lot of rare earth material. GB and AJK are ecological powerhouses of the future. There is, again, I'm diverting from the main subject. You must be listening, because you're all professionals, you all talk, each one of you is an institution. Pakistan is a debt-trapped country. When I took over 4th time finance minister's responsibility in September 2022, you must be, it's not सिर्फ करीबन 2 साल से कम अरसा है, 2 साल से ज़रा ज़्यादा अरसा है जो गुजरा है. Everybody is talking in this world, inside and outside Pakistan, Pakistan will default. Pakistan will data देते थे, ये डेट पे डिफॉल्ट करेगा, ये डेट पे डिफॉल्ट. Even rating agencies will give date. And I always used to say, Pakistan will not default. X institution, support or no support, and I believe in this thing. When I was preparing the last budget in June 2023, budget for fiscal year 2023-2024 before leaving the PDM government. All business leaders, they would come in line with my past habit. I used to consult them. So they used to come very depressed. Oh, we are thinking to sell our business, to shift to Dubai, to X and Y. I said, why? We have become debt-trapped country. I said, well, Pakistan has problem. But this country was 24th global economy in 2017-18. From macroeconomic unstable economy in 2013. What went wrong? You have best of indicators. You have highest of foreign exchange reserves. Still not beaten. The world rating agency were writing, Bloomberg and all other credible institutions, they look at Pakistan and forget about the neighbors. And Pricewaterhouse wrote that Pakistan is likely to be the part of G20 in the very near future, not later than 2030. What went wrong? We just abandoned the policies. This country has seen cycles because of the political instability, the leg pulling, the lack of continuity of the policies, and we saw what happened. We declined to 47th economy by 2022. Partly covered, partly our failure in pursuing the right policies. Our debt jumped to, as I said, from 2,000 billion per annum servicing to 10,000 billion. We can't afford. The inflation skyrocketed. The policy rate went double digit. So you can't run the business. So the 2022-2023 period was just to fight to avoid default. And I am giving next sentence very carefully and with full responsibility. I hope I'm wrong. I have no confusion or no suspicion that there was a desire that Pakistan should default. Particularly certain global actors. Why? You are a nuclear country, you are a missile power. Nobody would like to see you economic power. You have the ability to be economic power. And I used to tell these business people who used to come debt trapped, hang on, what is the external debt of Pakistan? 130 billion. I say, have you ever looked at what God has blessed this country with? At least $10,000 billion of rare earth material, mines and minerals, hydrocarbons, stones. So you have to work hard, that's all. Streamline the things. Let's be united, let's be one nation. Let's work hard, let's work for the next generations. Take the country out of woods, once and for all. Only then you will be respected. फिर आपके ग्रीन पासपोर्ट की इज्जत होगी. तो ये दुख भरी दास्तान जो है मुझे बड़ी तंग करती है as पाकिस्तानी. Professionally, I'm like you, I'm a chartered accountant. I qualified 74 from UK. So I've worked with the Middle East, with different parts of the world. So I know what it means. लेकिन मैं समझता हूं कि अगर हम आज भी ये जो आप एक्सरसाइज करें, it's a great exercise. Believe me. If you can make recommendations how to take Pakistan out of these troubled waters for all times to come, the only solution you will find is the economic empowerment. And that's for that reason, the 5-year plan was given with the budget. And to implement that plan is Rodan Pakistan. To implement 5-year plan, implementation document is Rodan Pakistan. जिस पे आप पिछले 3 दिन से बातचीत कर रहे हैं. So, in my opinion, potential जो है वो बहुत है पाकिस्तान में अल्लाह के फजलो करम से. कोई घबराने की बात नहीं है, लेकिन हार्ड वर्क की जरूरत है. हमें पॉलिसीज को सीरियसली इंप्लीमेंट करना होगा. एंड इफ यू डू दैट, आई एम श्योर पाकिस्तान हैज ब्राइट एंड उड़ान फ्यूचर. वेलकम टू माई वेरी डियर ब्रदर एंड मिनिस्टर फॉर प्लानिंग. ये मुझे बड़े ही अजीज हैं, मेरे भाइयों की तरह हैं. और प्राइम मिनिस्टर कहा करते हैं कि इकबाल देर से ही आता है, फॉर ऑब्वियसली फॉर जेन्युइन रीजंस. सो ये हमारी मजबूरियां होती हैं. हम जब कमिट करते हैं, जैसे हमें आपके आने से पहले मैं अर्ज कर रहा था कि जब मैंने कमिट किया था उसमें मेरी एक मेजर कमिटमेंट थी कि हंगेरियन फॉरेन मिनिस्टर वाज विजिटिंग एंड यू नो आई हैड टू स्पेंड विद हिम मेनी थिंग्स एंड बाय द वे दे वर गुड आउटकम्स. वो आज बाय द वे जीएसपी प्लस आपको कमिट कर गए सपोर्ट. दे हैव अबॉलिश्ड वीजा फ्रॉम टुडे ऑन द डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट टू विजिट हंगरी. नंबर 3, 400 scholarships, one of the highest to any country they will give. They will continue 2026, 28, 28. They have signed 2 MOUs with me on one, this culture, heritage and archaeology. और इसके साथ साथ 2 committees of the multilateral UN. So I think this meeting since 10 o'clock made my day. तो उनकी आखिरी कॉल जो थी वो करीबन 2:15 तक प्राइम मिनिस्टर पे होनी थी. आफ्टर एवरीथिंग इज डन एंड कंक्लूडेड, तो उसके बाद मैंने कमिट कर लिया. मुझे नहीं पता था कि 2 दिन पहले हमारे हमसाया मुल्क के, वो भी अच्छी बात. वी हैव बीन डिस्कनेक्टेड विद आवर सेकंड नेबर फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम. So after I took this responsibility, my dear brother Asim Iqbal Sahab knows I have been actively advocating we must re-engage Afghanistan. And हमारी एक एडवांस पार्टी 2 दफा पिछले चंद दिनों में होके आई है. आज उनके कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर तशरीफ लाए हैं. ऑब्वियसली यू हैव मल्टीपल एजेंडा. इफ आई हैव टू विजिट हैज टू बी मीनिंगफुल. So inshallah we'll give you good news in next few days that I'll be in Kabul in the morning and come back to Islamabad in the evening. So like me, he is also Professor Asim Iqbal Sahab, my dear brother, he is also heavily occupied. So where I was saying that Pakistan's prosperity is not rooted in a single capital, it is woven into every district, every province. Before Choice Up you came, I explained some background of the 18th Amendment. We were together, and then NFC award, and then shifting of the resources, and the much bigger responsibility in provinces, and the current imbalance, of the fiscal space for the federal. This all I have. While waiting for you, I'll given my, ideas and my thoughts shared with honorable ladies and gentlemen here. So, where digital Pakistan must begin? Let us turn our gaze to the future. A smarter digital Pakistan, which obviously our government is focusing, Prime Minister is putting a lot of hard work, and Professor Asim Iqbal Sahab is giving a great help in this endeavor. But the truth is that digital Pakistan will begin with digital provinces. Obviously, as I said before, Honorable Asim Iqbal Sahab came, because the federal government or Pakistan is the sum total of the 4 federating units plus capital territory. So if they do well, Pakistan will do well. If they do weak, Pakistan will do weak. It is your all indicators, the sum total of the delivery of the 4 provinces. So I think we need to obviously focus on this thing: digital services, e-payments, real-time data, smart schools. They are no longer luxuries; they are necessities for a modern state. अब आजकल आपने पढ़ा होगा कि अब तो सैटेलाइट से इंटरनेट सर्विस और सारी चीज़ें compete हो रही हैं. West is taking the lead. Many actors are visited Pakistan recently. Obviously, East में भी कुछ बड़े जो players हैं, global powers. अभी जिनकी ये कह रहे थे मैं मीटिंग करके आया हूँ, तो वो भी obviously they are in the run. So we welcome all. But it is a digital race. It's a digital, something which one could not conceive few years back that it will be that fast. So we have to catch up the speed. Udaan Pakistan remind us, transformation begins not in the capital, as I said, but in communities. When a farmer in Bhavalpur accesses weather data on his phone, when a patient in Quetta has medical history of him and his family stored digitally in his phone, when a student in Skardu logs into a virtual classroom, this is when smarter Pakistan becomes a lived reality. Now this is what we should all aim at. Where resilience is built, we live in an age of cascading crisis. You have seen the recent tariff wars. The big powers are contesting. हमारे भी लोग कुछ पैनिक हुए थे, मेरी तो एडवाइस थी कि कूल डाउन, कोई फिक्र वाली बात नहीं है, बिकॉज आवर पीयर कंपेटिटर्स आर ऑल्सो फेसिंग द सेम थिंग. हमें अगर 29 है तो नेक्स्ट डोर नेबर इंडिया को 27 है, बांग्लादेश को 38 है, वियतनाम को 48 है, और peers with whom we compete, we are in the same. So its ultimate load is going to be the American consumer, and they have to pay, the importer will have to pay and pass on. So I smell, unless they take corrective action, inflation there, and inflation will lead to recession, and recession will obviously harm the global economies. So you see this big race is already there, and this pandemic which we saw, COVID, flood, 2022, heat wave, or any other calamity, the province is both the first responder and the final safeguard. You must have seen that federal government, Prime Minister on human grounds takes the very key role. You saw PDM government floods 2022, but the primary responsibility is that of the provinces. So unless they come up to the expectations and the requirement which are to be there to face the challenges and unfortunate calamities, you see, we will not be having the fair outcome. No matter how much the federal government would do, it will still be not enough. So national resilience is, as I said, not centralized. It is constructed district by district through capable and responsive provincial leaderships. We have now system, we have National Assembly, we have provincial assemblies. Obviously, we are working, and Professor Saab is contributing in that we have to further, look down to the local bodies system. We have to make it active. Only then we'll be able to make these problems more handleable. National resilience, as I said, need to be handled. Now, where inclusion becomes real, let us speak of justice and inclusion, not as slogans, but as deliverables. Provinces are closest to the people realities. They know the languages, the customs, the disparities. They are the best positioned to empower women and girls, support marginalized communities, uplift persons with disabilities, and celebrate a rich ethnic and religious diversity. True inclusion does not trickle down unless they all are united and has a common approach. Otherwise, again, there will be inequalities. Where innovation is born, let's talk about that. Innovation often begins where the challenges are greatest. That's why they say that challenges bring opportunities with them. So we may look to federal institutions for leadership, but many of Pakistan's bolder reforms have to begin in the provinces. A digital agriculture platform in KP, a climate adaptation initiative in maybe in Sindh. They had huge losses. The flash floods 2022. They're still doing a lot of great work. Restoration of schools, building of houses. Federal government has been hand-holding. Professor Saab in his ministry has been preparing and processing for the up to CTWP the projects, and ethnic, we have been handling and approving those projects. So we, as a team, we have been working to do what the best we can. A school reform pilot in Gilgit. Innovation starts at the edges, and when it works, it must be scaled. We must support these efforts, learn from them, and replicate success. And share our experience. When I say share our experience, mean the provinces should share their experience. So with the federal government and with each other. A call to action. So what must we do collectively and immediately? There are a few suggestions. Number one, focus on our provinces urgently and directly where services are delivered and development begins. Number two, empower local innovation. Support what works, whether it's girls' school, model in Hunza, or a tech incubator in Multan. We must empower local innovation. Number three, digitize every province. Federal government has reached to a great degree of digitization at a very high level, alhamdulillah. From village to valley, brings services online, make data-driven decisions, and ensure no one is left behind. Number four, build resilience locally. Every community must be equipped to prepare, respond, and recover. After floods 2022 and the global climate actors, the defenders and the contributors and the financiers, they all agreed that what is called 4RF. So the resilience is the core element of the future constructions, so that these fault lines, which are natural, which are there, which are to repeat off and on and bring havocs, need to be at least preempted, and this is why most of the projects which the flood related projects, there are all constructions were meant to be at 4RF principle. Collaborate with purpose. Let us move from debate to delivery, from provincial silos to shared solutions. Luckily, all four chief secretaries are, I'm told, I have been invited for this session, great session. And with the wisdom of Professor Hassan Iqbal Sahab, after I leave, I will be looking forward to the outcome and the recommendations and the solutions they will propose, inshallah. In conclusion, I would say the Udan vision, a federation's flight, and the captain is sitting here, is not just a federal vision. It is national drive for progress, rooted in data, innovation, and collaboration. It works when provinces take ownership, tailor solutions, and lend transformation. Udan succeeds when every province rises, when no one is left behind. In conclusion, let me say, with both a hope and a challenge, let this not be just another event which we all are attending. Let it be the moment we choose to act, and act boldly, collaboratively, and with conviction. Because when Pakistan takes flight, every province must lift, every citizen must rise. A smarter, stronger, more inclusive Pakistan cannot be imagined from one office. It must be built in every street, every school, every clinic, and every farm, and every hook and corner of this country. So, I would say to you, let us listen what the great leaders would be deliberating after I leave, and let Allah give them wisdom and foresight to prepare a plan upon acting on which Pakistan actually achieves the great objectives which Udan Pakistan has set for itself and for Pakistan, which is steered under the leadership of the Prime Minister by Professor Hassan Iqbal Sahab. Together, I would say, last words, let us lift Udan Pakistan from vision to delivery and ultimate victory, inshallah. Pakistan Zindabad. God bless.